Alrighty, happy Saturday, everybody. It's Nicky Stees here. And so here I'm going to do my preview of Monday night's game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. So we got our home opener on a Monday night against the Vikings, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC. Yes, a Monday Night Football game on ABC in 2022. It's like it's the 2004 season all over again, where we played the Minnesota Vikings on Monday Night Football at the Link, week 2 on ABC. But obviously, it is a different time, different year, different situation. It is the week 2 of the 2022 season. As you can see, if you saw the thumbnails, you see at the top of the right, the text 2-0 or 1-1. That's the big question. So we got a lot of talk about here with this game. And to everyone joining in, please do me a favor. Drop a like, help out with the algorithm. Subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell. Please feel free to join in the live chat. I want to see what you guys have to say. I want to enjoy interacting with you guys. So please do me a favor there. Join in the live chat. And if you guys want to actually join the StreamYard, you're more than welcome to. The links in the live chat. There it is right there. It's the only comment in the chat thus far. And I have a poll asking you guys, who do you think is going to win? Eagles, Vikings, or the unlikely scenario of a tie? I doubt it, but realistically, I got to put that in there as an option. But let's get right into it. So we're coming into this game against the Minnesota Vikings with a lot to prove here. Got a lot of naysayers after our week 1 performance against the Lions, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And the fact that we let the Lions make it close in the fourth quarter, narrowly escaped with a W. So we have a lot to prove coming into this game against the Minnesota Vikings. Because obviously the Vikings are a better team than the Detroit Lions right there. And we saw in their performance week 1 against the Green Bay Packers. They beat down the Packers 23-7. Justin Jefferson had 9 receptions, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, long 64. We also saw, Dalvin Cook, too, at 20 carries, 90 yards. Not the great statistical line, but we know Dalvin Cook's off of 3 straight Pro Bowls. And we know he can, no pun intended, cook when given the rock. And also, Jordan Hicks, former Eagle in that game, had a total of 14 tackles and a sack. We know Harrison Smith there, 7 tackles, 5 sacks. And we got Zadarius Smith, former Packer now on the Vikings. So obviously right there, based off some of the names I just listed off and some of their stat lines last week, we know they got some better players than the Detroit Lions right there. So like the Vikings, we got Kirk Cousins, who, okay, not the greatest quarterback in the world. He's a better fantasy quarterback and he's an actual quarterback. But hey, we know Kirk Cousins from experience can get the job done against this Eagles defense. We saw it last time we played them back in 2019. We got smoked by that defense. By that offense. Our defense got smoked. We gave up over 40 points to them. So we know Kirk Cousins can cook against this defense. And we saw last week when we got beaten down the run game, Jared Goff started to do well against us in the fourth quarter. So we could be dealing with a similar situation. But now we're going with Kirk Cousins, who we know is a better overall quarterback than Goff. And yeah, I'm concerned about that right there. But my main concern right there for this Eagles team is defense going into this game. So right now we're going to continue to focus on the rosters a little bit. So the Vikings, we got Kirk Cousins at quarterback, got Justin Jefferson, who we passed up on in the 2020 draft for Jalen Reagor. We know Justin Jefferson's the main weapon in the Minnesota Vikings offense. You saw last week how he dominated. Justin Jefferson did me favors in my fantasy league last year. So we know he's their top weapon. It's our first time playing against the Vikings since he's been drafted. And we got Adam Thielen, who is coming into this game healthy. We know as long as he's in the lineup, he can do some damage too. So they got their 2 main wide receivers right there. We got Dalvin Cook, the 3-time Pro Bowl running back. We struggled last week against DeAndre Swift of the Detroit Lions. Now we got Dalvin Cook here we're talking about. So this draws concern, and that's why this Eagles team's coming into this game as the underdogs with a lot to prove. It's like people are wondering, how can we trust this Eagles team to be able to stop the Vikings after what we did against the Lions last week? And to be real with you, I have my doubts too myself. I'm not going to lie. Especially after last week's performance, I got to wonder how are we going to be able to stop Dalvin Cook? And even CJ Ham, the fullback, he gets some carries too. What are we going to do different? Like, I really find myself I'm sitting there and asking myself that. Really, like, what are we going to do this time around that's so much different from last time? It's kind of hard to answer. And honestly, it's hard to answer that question and come up with a real answer to that. Because it just get this feeling like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like oh boy, we struggled last week. But I feel like one of the main things is we got to give Jordan Davis more snaps. No, we're talking about, Mitch Koski made a video. I did a video response/reaction to his video, basically saying, like, look, okay, yeah, agreeing with his stance that Jordan Davis needs more snaps because, yeah, he does. I mean, the run stopper is his main strength. You put him in the center of the defensive line, it can definitely help out stopping the run. And if we use him more this week, we're hoping that he comes in, he lives up to that first round pedigree right off the bat, yeah, and that, he helps make a difference in our run defense, helps us do better. But even if Jordan Davis comes in, okay, maybe he makes some rookie mistakes, but you know what? He's going to have to get that playing time to learn and get better or to adjust at the NFL level. So you might as well just play him now while it's early in the season. Let him, make his rookie mistakes early. Let him learn from them and get better as the season goes along if he's going to do that. So you might as well just do it at the beginning of the year. We don't have as much on the line as you will later this year. So I think we should have given him more snaps last week. And hopefully, you're hoping that he comes in and he makes a difference right away. And even if it doesn't happen right away, okay, let him get that playing time. Let him learn and get better through playing time. That's the way you got to do it with a rookie like Jordan Davis if you feel like that might be the case. But if that's not the case, he comes and delivers right off the bat. Okay, now you got Jordan Davis as your top defensive lineman or one of your top defensive linemen. But I feel like we got to give Jordan Davis more snaps this week. Let's see what he can do to try to help us on that defense side stop the run. Because we had a big problem with that last week. And here we are going against a more talented Minnesota Vikings team. We got to do that right there. It's one of the main things right there. And we're hoping that if we're able to stop the run, that we won't it won't allow Kirk Cousins to build momentum against our defense as easy. Because one of the things that happened with that fourth quarter and why Jared Goff was able to look efficient there is because our run defense struggled. And that opened holes in the passing game. And now here you're talking about the possibility of the same thing, but with Kirk Cousins, who is a better quarterback than Jared Goff, obviously. But speaking of the passing game, and speaking of the defensive line, another thing we should do, we got to get pressure on Cousins too. When he drops back the pass, we got to let these defensive linemen get pressure on him, force him to make some of those bad passes, force him to get rid of it, maybe get a few sacks going. So we got to let the D-line go right here. We got to get some pressure on the QB because last year, one of the biggest struggles was getting pressure on the QBs against teams like the Chargers with Justin Herbert, Derek Carr with the Raiders, Brady with the Bucs, both the regular season game and the playoff game. So that was one of our big problems last year. So we got to do a better job there for sure. This year we got to do better. We got to we got to do better. We got to get pressure on the QB. I mean, we did a decent job getting pressure on Jared Goff last week. So hopefully we can do that again this week against the Vikings. So it's important to emphasize that, yes, our defense needs to do better. Even in offensive-friendly era, we got to do better defensively. We have to. I mean, we got, as far as, our secondary, we got the guys like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Darius Slade Jr., James Bradbury. Let those guys do what they do best. Let them shut down Jefferson, Thielen, and those guys. Let them do it. So that's what we got to do right there. I got to do good defensively right there. And if anyone's joining in, please do me a favor. Feel free to leave a comment in the live chat. Hit that like button to help out the algorithm. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. And I do have the poll up right there. You can let me know who you think's going to win Monday night's game. Be happy. So feel free to vote on that poll right there. But I know. So that's defensively, we got to do better. As far as the offense goes, I know some people are worried that Jalen Hurts was running a little too much last week. But this week, considering the Vikings, look, they have a better defensive roster than the Detroit Lions do. We go through some of their players' defense. We got Jordan Hicks, former Eagle. Right, he knows us well. Got Harrison Smith, Patrick Peterson, Eric Kendricks, Zadarius Smith. So you got some playmakers there on this Vikings defense. Certainly better than what you get from the Detroit Lions. So as far as, but that ties back to my point about Jalen Hurts, with people saying that he runs too much, and I do think at times he does, but I hope in this case he runs, because we're going to need Jalen Hurts to run to help us out against this Vikings defense. Because we know he can make plays with his legs. We know he can scramble. And we're going to need to rely on him scrambling. And we're definitely going to need to rely on the run game in this game. Hence why I'm saying Jalen Hurts, I think, in this game should scramble. I think we're going to need him to scramble in some plays here offensively. And we also need to do a good job running the ball. I mean, Miles Sanders, I got his jersey on right here. Hey, he had a good game last week. Hopefully he can do good this week. We'll give him some carries as long as he stays healthy, doesn't get hurt, he doesn't fumble the ball. He should definitely help us out with carries. So we got to give Miles Sanders some carries, get Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell in there as well. Obviously, got to let Jalen Hurts make some plays with his feet against his Vikings defense. So yeah, we got to get some run game going, help open up those holes in the passing game too. And we got one vote on here with a tie. That's an interesting one. Now, don't get me wrong. I appreciate you coming in here voted. But yes, we got one vote already. So anyone else who hasn't voted on that poll is coming in, feel free to vote on the poll. Just let me know who you got winning Monday night's game. You got the Eagles, the Vikings, or do you have the unlikely scenario of a tie? Get back to what I was saying, though. So the run game's definitely going to be important right there. Let Miles Sanders, give him the ball, let him get some carries. Just hope, as long as he doesn't fumble the ball, doesn't get hurt, as long as he can run effectively, that'll be helpful to us. And obviously, Jalen Hurts, yes, I do want him to make some plays scrambling here in this game. I also want him to make some passing plays, which I'll get to in a moment. But I want him to be able to make some plays with his feet right here. And I want this run game to do well against the Vikings, because that'll help us out in the passing game as well. And that'll make it easier for A.J. Brown to get open, because, he's going to be our main target right there. It'll make it easier for us to get the ball to Goddard, Devontae Smith, and Zach Pascal. And I want those guys to get involved too as well. So I do want, so definitely we got to make A.J. Brown's going to be our main target in the passing game. Then behind that, Dallas Goedert. But I also would want to see Devontae Smith and Zach Pascal get involved in the passing game as well a little bit. Obviously, they're not going to be the main targets, but I'd like to see them get some targets in this game and make some catches as well. Because as long as those guys can get in, make some catches, hey, that'll help spread that, that'll help, keep the defense a little weary right there. Help keep the secondary on their toes a little bit if we can get those guys open looks as well. So I'm definitely hoping that we can do a great job passing. And last week we did a pretty solid job passing against the Detroit Lions. Now we're going against the Minnesota Vikings. The thing last year with Jalen Hurts was he struggled passing against some of the top teams we played. He struggled against the Cowboys week 3 last year on Monday night. He struggled against the Bucs. We saw, the whole team struggle offensively against the Raiders. And, even against the Giants the first time we struggled, Hurts struggled there in the passing game. So now that he's going, now I want to see how he's going to do here against the Minnesota Vikings passing the ball. And I'm hoping that, I'm hoping that with the weapons he has, he can get it done right here. I mean, he's got A.J. Brown to throw the ball to. He's got Goddard to throw the ball to. He's got Devontae Smith to get a few looks to. He can even give the ball to Zach Pascal. He's got his options there too. And yes, he can make those plays with his feet too. So, yeah, I want to see some good passes from Hurts, and I want to see him run too, because I feel that'll definitely help us out in this game. So that's what I'm looking to see right here from us. Now, my biggest concern, though, obviously, is Jonathan Gannon, especially with the defensive side. Was he going to let us do it, though? Is he actually going to let the defensive line go all out? Is he actually going to give Jordan Davis more snaps where he can potentially make a difference in stopping the run, specifically Dalvin Cook? My biggest concern is that Jonathan Gannon isn't going to do that, and we're going to get torched by this Vikings defense. I mean, that's my concern right there. But honestly, if I'm going to give an honest answer, as far as score goes, I honestly got us losing this game as of right now. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope we do step up and get the win. I'm thinking it's possible we could end up losing possibly 35-27 to this team or possibly more. Now, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope we do get this win, because if we can go out there and beat the Minnesota Vikings on Monday Night Football, it'll be a great statement win. It'll prove all the doubters wrong. It'll prove some of the people in the fan base, such as myself, who have doubts about this team, who had their question marks going into the game, feeling like, oh boy, we're going to lose this game. I just don't trust Jonathan Gannon. It'd be great if we win this game to get people such as myself and others in the Eagles fan base who are doubting this team to get some rally behind them and have more hope for it. And say, hey, you know what? They actually stepped up and proved us wrong. I mean, I'm hoping that happens. I certainly do. But time will tell, man. So we still got the rest of Saturday, college football day, got tomorrow, Sunday, and then Monday night, big game, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, Lincoln Financial Field, home opener on ESPN. Now, I regret to inform you guys, though, I'm not going to be able to do a live stream of that game. However, I will be back Tuesday for my post-game recap, sometime in the afternoon, early evening Tuesday, where I'll be giving my thoughts on the game. So you guys can be on the lookout for that Tuesday. But we'll ultimately have to see what happens. We will. But yes, obviously, and there's one more thing, obviously, that's become the deal, Jalen Reagor, because we're going to be playing against Jalen Reagor. Because the whole deal is Jalen Reagor wants his revenge against the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what? I mean, this whole thing is just, it's kind of silly to me that he's going to go with that angle. But you know what? I'm not even going to laugh at it, honestly, because you never know what might happen. I mean, if our defense struggles, it's possible that even Jalen Reagor could get an open look or two on us if this defense struggles. So I'm not going to laugh about this whole Jalen Reagor thing yet. I'm not going to laugh about his comments at all, even though they're silly and they're stupid. This whole angle of Reagor versus the Eagles is really stupid if we think about it. I'm not going to laugh about it because I still have my doubts on whether this team's going to be able to win. I got my doubts about this defense. So I'm not coming on here laughing about this whole situation, poking fun at Reagor for wanting revenge, because for all we know, he could come out there, actually get some playing time, and maybe have a productive game, possibly. I mean, you never know. It is possible that Jalen Reagor could do that. I mean, so at this point, I'm not even going to laugh about that situation right there. I want to remain humble about that. And I'm just going to hope that this Eagles team, specifically on the defensive side of the ball, proves me wrong and gets the W. This whole Jalen Reagor revenge thing, I don't even care to talk about it. It is what it is. Reagor's on the Vikings. He gets some playing time. Okay, we'll see what happens Monday with that. But I'm mainly concerned about this team right here. I want to see if this team can prove me wrong and fix up on the mistakes they made last week. Another thing, too, you got to stop with the boneheaded penalties, too. That's another key in this game. We cannot commit these boneheaded penalties. False starts, 12 men in the huddle, multiple times a game. You know, all these stupid holding calls, you know, encroachments. We can't be having that at all. We got to cut it out with the stupid penalties. I mean, last week we committed more stupid penalties against the Lions, but we got lucky we were playing the Detroit Lions, because if we weren't, we could have lost this game because of penalties. And if we don't, fix up on that, that could be another factor that cost us this game against the Vikings. So we can't be committing these boneheaded penalties either, man. So, look, we got to do better stopping the run, get Jordan Davis some more snaps, let him do what he can do, help make a difference stopping the run. Get some pressure on Kirk Cousins. Don't give him time to cook. Get the ball off to these receivers. So that's what we got to do defensively. And let our secondary guys, Let our talented guys like Slay, Bradbury, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson do what they got to do. And thank you for coming in Night Kings. Thank you for pronouncing that right. And this is going to be a tough game. You're absolutely correct about that. Yeah, so obviously that's what we got to do there. Offensively, hey, we got to be able to do good on the run game like we did last week. And hey, which includes let Jalen Hurts scramble here. Yes, I'm in favor of letting him move around, make some plays in his legs there, along with giving some carries to Sanders, Gainwell, Scott. I'm in favor of that. Also we got to have a good passing game from Jalen Hurts too. Okay, he's got the weapons around him. He's got to be able to make those plays happen passing too. Because we got to see what he can do against the better defense. Because we know last year he struggled against the better defenses, but now he's got the weapons to help him. Let's see him get the ball to those guys against this Vikings defense. Let's see what he can do there. So he's got to be able to do that right there. Another key, obviously, none of these boneheaded penalties like we did last week. Can't be having 12 men in the huddle. Can't be having constant false starts, pushing us back. Can't be committing all these, stupid penalties, period. So we got to keep the penalties to an absolute minimum in this game, too. So those are some of the keys to victory in this game. And another key, obviously, the 12th man advantage. We have the home crowd behind us. Use it to our advantage. Yes, obviously, like I said, let's see. So we got XO Wave coming in. Eagles are going to show up and win this game. I hope you're correct. I absolutely hope you're correct. I hope they do show up and win this game. As of right now, I have my doubts, but I hope I'm wrong about those doubts. And I hope they do play well in this game right here and get that W. If we get this W, that'll do great for us. It'll push us up to 2-0. We'll have gotten a win against the tough team in the Vikings. And, hell, we could possibly be in first place if we get this win here this week. But then again, as far as our other games, the other NFC East games go, the Giants play the Panthers, and Panthers are trash, so there is the possibility even if we win, we could be in a tiebreaker with the Panthers for first place. Washington plays the Lions. That could go either way, possibly. But who knows? There is the possibility, though, the Lions could beat Washington, the Commies. That would drop them to 1-1. Yes, definitely this team is capable of winning. They have the pieces there. But the key is execution. They got to be able to execute on it, though. And that's what I'm most concerned about. Obviously, I hope they're able to do it, but time will tell. Right, because as the comment says by XO Wave, we have the pieces there to pull off the win and get to 2-0 and potentially be at first place at the end of the week. Especially if either the Giants, the Commanders, or both teams lose. So there is that possibility right there. Or is the possibility we could be in a tiebreaker for first place at the end of the week. If we go out there, do everything we're supposed to do, keep the mistakes to a minimum, Hurts makes some big plays passing, we do good running, and we'll do better defensively, we can definitely get the win in this game. But we're definitely going to need the offense to show up too. We're definitely going to need to score some points in this one. And we got some more votes on this poll right here. To everyone that's voting, thank you for voting. If you're coming in, you haven't voted on the poll, please do me a favor. Just vote on the poll. It's free. It don't cost a thing. Just let me know who you got winning this game right here. And I did throw that tie scenario in there, even though I doubt it, but you never know. That's why I threw that in there. But yes, obviously, hey, it's a big game, primetime game, our first big game. This is going to be our first true test with this new roster. See how they do. Now, to be fair, this is only week 2, so right, I know our defense is the main concern right here, and to be fair, this is only week 2, so even if we do lose this game, it's not the end of the world because it's still early in the season, but it would really help out to get this win here against the Vikings. Be great for momentum right here, especially with the possibility that the Commanders and/or the Giants could be off to a 2-0 start because they both do have winnable games on paper. So it would really help us out right there in that regards to get this win as well, to build some momentum on our side. So we will ultimately have to see what happens in this game tonight. Or not tonight, Monday night, excuse me. But we'll have to ultimately see what happens Monday night. See what happens. I mean, as of right now, based on the performance last week, it looks like our defense has a lot of work to do. That's why I did pick the Vikings. However, I hope I'm wrong about that, obviously. To see what happens. But I do think it's going to be a high-scoring game, which is why it's important that our offense shows up and is able to score points and not commit penalties offensively. But yeah, I think we got to at least score 30 points to win this game right here. That's what I think. And as we see from the comment, I'm worried about our defense too. Vikings have a two-headed beast. Great running back in Dalvin, explosive pass offense led by a decent Cousins. And not to mention, though, Justin Jefferson, his main target, and obviously Adam Thielen. Hope Lions trash Commanders. I think the Lions can be good this year. I don't know about that. I think they'll definitely be better than last year. I think they'll improve. They'll at least be competitive throughout the season. But yeah, I definitely do think they have a chance at being the Commanders. Matter of fact, I actually picked the Lions to win that in my pick'ems I did for ESPN. And I did pick the Giants too to win against the Panthers because Panthers are a trash team. I do think there's a chance the Giants could get that W and go to 2-0 there against the Panthers. But ultimately, we'll have to find out what happens there. So we got our division rivals are playing in the afternoon. And who do the Cowboys play again? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. And the Cowboys, they're going to be going in without Dak and against the Bengals. I think that's a winnable game for the Bengals right there, especially with Joe Burrow being the Bengals quarterback. So I think there's a good chance Cowboys lose to the Bengals right there. And I do think. Okay, you think our offense is better than theirs? On paper, we absolutely are better offensively. We are better offense on paper, and we're going to have to use it definitely to get this win here. And I hope that is the case. I hope that when we match up with them, we do actually have the better offense and get this W. So ultimately, yes. Ultimately, there's plenty of hype going into this game. There's plenty of there's plenty of potential for us to get this dub, go to 2-0, but there's also plenty of potential for us to fall apart, make some mistakes, and go to 1-1. But time will tell what's actually going to happen right there. So, about to wrap this thing up. To everyone that's tuned in, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me in the live chat. If you haven't done so already, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new vid. Yep, and I will unfortunately will not be able to do the live stream for the game on Monday, but I will be back Tuesday, late afternoon, early evening to do a recap of the game, give my thoughts on what I didn't like from the game. But we'll ultimately see what happens. So fly, Eagles, fly. Best of luck. Let's hope they get the win Monday night. We'll ultimately see what happens. And one final note, an important reminder to everyone. I say this every weekend, but it's important. If you're going to go out this weekend and drink, do so safely. Have an Uber, Lyft, designated sober driver, or a taxi transport you home. Please don't be the one that drinks and drives and makes that critical mistake. Yeah, and everyone, most of all, have a wonderful weekend there. So I got a few more comments I'm going to read. I don't know, Vikings offense is still really good, though. Oh, yeah, absolutely. They are good offense. That's why I got my concern about the defense, because they're better offensively than Detroit Lions. Yeah, Justin Jefferson, though. Yeah, I think he's definitely the best. Yeah, Justin Jefferson is, as of currently, the best receiver on both teams. Absolutely. Yeah, that's why it's important for us to actually get some stops right here. Absolutely important for us to get some stops with the defensive line, get some pressure on Cousins, make it harder for him to get the ball to Jefferson. And yes, and thank you to XOWave for subbing. Have a great day. And I will be back Tuesday to give my recap. So that's all I'm going to say right there. Again, everyone tuned in. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful Saturday. Stay safe. Nikki Stees signing off. Fly, Eagles, fly. Get this dub. And I'll be back soon.